Welcome to Around Town, featuring what's going on here in the greater Concord area. And yippee, it's time for summer. That's right, we've gone from winter with a brief look at spring, and it seems like summer's all of a sudden here. The ice cream stands are all opened up now, and boy, you know, this new one up in West Concord, they were busy as a beaver yesterday. I rode by there, and they had just opened up, I guess, either this last weekend or yesterday. I don't know, but they were parking lot was full. This is the old summer freeze up there. It's all Freakies.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about it.
Yeah, they own the one out in Chichester on 28. Well, she was on the show last week, Carol Freaky, and I've known her since she was a little kid, because they are part of the Junior Grange in Chichester, and they bought it over the winter time. They got it, and they changed it completely, and they're not offering any hot dog, hamburgers or fries.
Right.
And they're just staying right where they do in Chichester. Ice cream, hard and soft, and the flurries and all that.
Yeah.
But they were swamped yesterday. And of course out in Chichester it's a little bit different, because it's just, they rely heavily on the sports out in that park. But here in Concord, I said, you've got 2 trailer parks up there, plus all those apartment complexes behind them, and going towards Pennacook. But hopefully they'll do well. But anyway, by the way, before I forget it, we're talking with Paul Brogan, and he's safe as, thank goodness. He had a very bad car accident a couple of weeks ago, but he's here, and his mother's car's not doing too good, but at least you're not hurt, though.
Well, it's nice to be back.
Well, it is nice. It is nice to be back, and that sunshine smile with it, and we're keeping my director in stitches over here with our comments about days of our lives and all my children and all that jazz. But
by the way, I did see the piece in today's Insider about the recent Grange Awards, and
it was very good.
I understand it went very well, and I went through the names, and some very deserving people were recognized. And
well, I can tell you that weather really did us in, because it was awful. The rain was so heavy. The wind was gusting up 44 miles an hour, and we didn't know whether to go through with it or not, but everything was there, and we called people all day, and they were going.
Good.
So we had a good crowd. It's not as good as it has been, but we had a good crowd. And so, yes, it's over with for another year.
But hats off to the Grange again for recognizing individuals within the community and organizations and other things too, and I noticed the Insider got a national award from the Grange. Yeah. And I think they do a great job of covering the things going on in the community, and I think they can't be thanked enough for maintaining that, because the paper itself doesn't always. Often it's Associated Press stories or stories from other entities, whereas the Insider still gets out there and reports on what's happening in Concord and the surrounding towns.
I know, because I'll tell you, the Insider, both John and Tim are very community-oriented, and it's good that they are right there to cover. And I told them that the other day when I was up there with it. I said, because nobody gets a lot of coverage anymore. You've got your maybe little town papers,
right?
Like the Messenger up in
Hillsborough.
Boston,
that Messenger.
That little one.
There used to be one in Hillsborough.
Yeah,
too,
there was that one in there. Then you got the Sunhook Valley Sun, which does very well for Pittsfield and Chichester and Epsom and Northwood, but you can't get it in Concord.
No.
But they do a good job out there, and. The section that I'm really disappointed in, and I think I know the reason for it, is on Saturday, the religious section. Have you seen how low you have the section where the churches are all have like a display.
Right.
There's hardly anything there anymore. It's basically the Congregational churches, the Methodists, a couple of the Baptist churches, and a couple of independents. That's it. So I'm sure it's got to be the display ad that's costing them to do that. Where at one time that page was loaded.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Now the other side of that page, which is just no pictures, no nothing, that's full. But it's too bad because I look at the display one just to see, you know, with the because like I told the deacon who was on here last week, well, they call him curator or something up there, but I call him deacon because he's going to be ordained as a priest in the Episcopal Church in June. Nice guy. And I said, you know,
is he with St. Paul's?
He's with St. Paul's. Yes, he's with St. Paul's, and the thing of it is that I'll make sure this is turned out for my director because I don't have. But yeah, there it is. Good. You know, we all look at that stuff, and I like to see, like, okay, fourth Sunday in Advent, or the third Sunday in Lent, or the fourth Sunday in Pentecost. You know, things like that, little things, just to see where the churches are. But I don't know. So anyway, but that's where I noticed the big differences, and it's got to be the cost.
I'm sure
Of those display ads.
Well, it's gotten very costly to take out ads, and I think some places are opting for other methods of getting the word out on their websites or Facebook or something else. So.
Yeah, and someone said to me recently that they said in a matter of a year or so more, a few years, there won't be no newspapers at all. It's all online.
Well, I would miss that because I like having the actual paper. I get my Monitor every day. Whatever I may think, I go and I get it, and I put aside a chunk of time and I go through it. And it's, you know, it's always been that way ever since they switched to mornings.
I know. Remember the afternoon?
I sort of liked it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I think more kids had paper routes when it was in the afternoon because it was after school.
Yeah.
And for a lot of them, in the morning, you've got to get up and go to school so early. So
they can't do it unless
it's just
a
people
Saturday
driving
or
around in
Sunday.
vehicles, you know, throwing them.
And they don't have that either.
No, so it's you know, the paper route thing was a great
And they
way
always
to-
had the round orange monitor boxes there or things that you put the paper in.
Well, I hope it doesn't fade away because I like having the actual paper. It's great to check things. I'll go on MSN online and check, you know, particular things, but it's still not the same as well for me because I'm allergic to coffee. It's my glass of Coca-Cola and the Concord Monitor every morning.
I know it.
7:15.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do too. I don't drink coffee, but I do. I read it. And you might as well really there was not much in there on Monday or Tuesdays.
No.
Or Friday either.
So true.
Except the yard sale. It used to be the yard sale section, but.
And of course, we're mature enough to remember when the Monitor was on North State Street.
Oh,
They
I
had
know.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
They tore down the section they built.
that they had added on.
Yeah.
And I liked the notion of having our local paper right there locally because they were easy to reach. And when I worked at the Concord Theater, on the way home at night, I would put our ad for the paper through the slot because that's what you did. Mr. Gerber was the editor at the time, and Teresa would prepare the ad and put them in an envelope, and then on my way home I'd stop and put it through the slot addressed to him, and you know, it would run 2 days later. And it was just very convenient. And now it's out in, you know, wherever it is. Well, it's still Concord.
Well, East Concord, out there by railroad tracks.
Right. But it's...
In fact, I told them the other day when I was up there, I said, oh, by the way, I said, you might want to mind your people at the trains are running now, coming down from Tilton, Northfield down to Concord on that track. So.
Oh.
They didn't know that. And I said, yes.
I didn't know that either. What are they?
It's New England, Southern New England Railroad. Yeah. They just do freight. They come down once, maybe a week, or once every 2 weeks, depending what cars are brought up for them from the other outfit, Pan Am, there from Boston.
Right, exactly. Any further word on the study they're going to hopefully do about...
Well, the state senate is supposed to vote today to the House passed it.
Yes.
goes to the Senate. They already had their hearing, which I wasn't aware of.
Uh-huh.
Today they vote to either send it on to the governor or...
I think he said he would support it,
Well,
right? He wasn't going to, but...
He was riding the fence the last time I knew, because I said to him, because he and I had a talk on the phone recently, and I said, you know, you made the remark that if Amazon was coming here,
yes,
we'd have a commuter train just like that. And naturally they're not coming, but I still hope that that is going to happen.
And there are other companies that might look favorably on New Hampshire if the train were in place down the road that may not be Amazon, but it may be something that is important and could bring, you know, benefits to the state.
Well, the trouble is that they let the tracks go downhill bad.
Yes.
That's what's going to cost. See, Nashua supposedly has signed an agreement with this other rail company out of Boston or Rhode Island or something to furnish commuter service for them. That will take them to Worcester and then over to Boston, something like that. But they're showing that the tracks through Nashua are really a mess. They've got to be upgraded. Because they want to hook in Bedford to Nashua down that way, and I hope they do. If they can't, if they reject that, I mean, I don't know how many studies they got to have.
Right.
But you know, this is like the second or third study since I've been a legislator. But, and like I said, I've said many times, the airport, Manchester Airport, can't get international flights in there because there's no railroad nearby.
Right.
But they don't seem to care, I guess, because they have to have a railroad as an alternative transportation near the airport for them to get, you know, flights in there. And Manchester Airport has really gone down. I mean, I can't remember when that was booming.
Booming, exactly. And then you need to take it to the next step if it's going to continue to thrive. And if they're not going to do the railroad thing, then it's going to just continue to erode, and that would be most unfortunate because it's a beautiful airport. It's easy to get to, and used it many times, and it's very, very convenient. It's much better than driving all the way to Boston.
Oh yeah, it is. Now, what's going on with the Concord Theater? Anything new since we last talked?
Let's see. The book is coming along. I probably have written 60,000 words or something so far. And I believe they're going to start the work on it July 1st, I think is when it's scheduled to. And the opening is still planned for next April. So Joe Gleason from the Capitol Center, he's the assistant executive director, shared some slides and pictures of it. We did an event together out at New England College a couple of weeks ago and talking about it, and he shared the pictures and the architect's drawings, and it'll seat probably 350 or so people for a sit-down type of thing, and then the seats will be able to be put back so that it can be a total floor. There can be tables and chairs and all of those things. So
I'm anxious to see. I've never been inside there.
I can't believe. I mean, it was open until '94, and you never went there.
No,
Wow.
Well, because when I was a kid, my folks would go to the drive-in in the summertime.
True.
And then in the winter, we never really went to many movies. We went to the Capitol
For Disney films.
for Disney films once or twice. And I remember when Dad worked at Bresner Tannery, they had their Christmas gathering there at the
Palace Theater.
at the Capitol Theater.
Oh, at the Capitol Theater.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they had and a special movie, Christmas movie was being shown. But other than that, we never really went to any of the other movies. You know? So it wasn't in the money was in the budget, I guess. But you know, but I've always wondered about it because you know, and I know Steve mentioned about having the big signpost out there
Yes.
with the lights and stuff. Would be
Right,
nice
like
to
it
see.
used to. Yes, yes. Yeah, they had she bought the marquee for $500 from a theater in Manchester. When the Concord first opened in 1933, it didn't have a marquee out front. But she bought one in the 40s. The theater closed on Hanover Street in Manchester. I think it was the Lyric or the Modern Theater, but she bought the marquee for $500, neon and the whole thing, and had it brought up to Concord and installed on the outside. And she said business really picked up then because people notice that much more than if there's no real, sign to indicate. But the building was built in the 1840s, the Norris Bakery, and they provided biscuits for the Civil War soldiers, and that was a bakery until the 1920s, one of the most popular bakeries in town. And then it was after that that it was converted, and the back part was added on. And
Wow.
yeah,
I know. There's a building on Main Street. I've always wondered what that was supposed to be. It was on the corner of Pleasant and South Main, the Chase Aquila.
yes.
What was that?
The one that had the big eye up in the
Yeah,
upstairs.
yeah.
I'm trying. Well, I mean, Foodie's Pizza, 20 years ago. But
Was in
before
there,
that, before that, I don't know what was upstairs. I don't know. I don't even remember what was in the downstairs way back.
I don't either. I can't remember what it.
I don't remember it being retail space, really.
I know.
But it must have been something when I was a kid. I don't. It's a very attractive building, and it's been maintained.
Well, it needs a lot.
Oh yeah, it would. I mean,
work, but-
you would have to, like
But
so
yeah,
many
now
of
they've
those
got
buildings.
tailor shops up there.
Yes.
I mean, is there an elevator in there?
No, I don't think so. I think it's
Oh.
stairs.
It'd be hard to get to that.
There's a staircase on the Pleasant Street side, and it's too narrow as far as for there to be an elevator because you go in through a door and the stairs right there. So I don't think there is an elevator or anything. So if they were going to put, for instance, apartments or something upstairs, they'd have to probably make it more accessible than it is. But I can't remember before Foodie's Pizza went in there in the late 80s on the first floor. What was there? I don't know. Totally a blank on that.
And I can remember as a kid seeing Concord Commercial College up on second floor there. And
Further up,
Yeah.
it was over Concord Camera Store and all
yeah,
that. Yes,
yeah.
yes. And that was quite the place. I mean,
Yeah.
hundreds of people were there, and
they closed that and moved out to East Concord out there in the old Calvins.
yeah.
We did that over.
But I mean, that was one of those things that actually brought people into the downtown because all those girls, and back then it was all girls that took secretarial classes, at lunchtime they were in Newberry's and Woolworth's and Kresge's lunch encounters or
Oh, I
at the
know.
corner pharmacy or any of the pharmacies that had McKinsey's ice cream parlor and
Yeah.
restaurant. And, they all, filled the places at lunchtime.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was one of those things that brought people into the downtown, having that up there. And now,
You remember what the name of that seafood place on South Street near Clinton? And that
the one where Corner View was, Redmond's.
Oh, Redmond?
Yeah, Redmond's Seafood. I saw an ad for them in one of the old Concord, what are those books that were published every year? Not a city directory, but it had, and there was an ad for it in there, offering the finest fresh seafood to go, or you could go in there and sit. There weren't very many tables,
No.
but it was very cozy. But because as Catholics, on Friday, my mom would often go in and get some haddock or something to take home and cook. But we ate there a few times. It was very nice. It was
I
very
remember
good.
stopping there. My folks did fried clams or something.
Then there was a lobster place right over the river on Manchester Street on the right-hand side. before you turn to go down to the drive-in, right? And
Yeah, that was what, Captain Bob's
or something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
They tore it down. It
Yeah.
didn't last
Yes.
long, but, yeah,
I mean, that whole little area between A&W and Keniston's and that was quite the little place to go to eat before you go to the drive-in sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because we never were allowed to go to the concession stand or to play on the swings before. Somebody told my parents that if you played on the swings at the drive-in, you'd get polio. And so,
God, I never heard that.
so when we get there in the station wagon, we'd already had our supper and we'd park, and the first feature was for the kids, and then we'd get in the back on air mattresses and go to sleep while the folks watched the next feature.
Yeah.
But I guess it's still there, the drive-in, not the screen, but as far as those little rise things that your car.
I've always wondered if there's anything out there, and you can't get out there. It's all grown up.
You have to walk and then go through poison ivy and everything else. But there's still, I guess, a few of the speaker stands that are there, and those places on the ground that go up where your car. But there were 500 spots there. It was a big drive-in.
Oh, yeah.
And much bigger than the one in Bosquen. That only had 300.
Sky high.
Sky High, yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had the Sky Ray
Yeah,
and Hooksett.
yes, I know. That was always when you drove by there, you could see the movie.
Yeah. We were told to avert our eyes because mostly they played more mature kinds of movies at Sky Ray. It wasn't, and the Sky High eventually became known as the Passion Pit because they played beach party movies, and those were considered to be risque. But the Concord Drive-In always had the family movie, the Disney, and then something, after that.
Yeah.
But
we got plenty of time. I was just curious because I always wondered whatever happened. 'Cause someone mentioned recently, it was just recently, someone asked me if they heard there was rumors that was going to be redeveloped out there. And I said, I don't know. I said, I was told by Carlson Motors one time years ago that somebody from Manchester owned that whole property.
Really?
And was going, Knowles I think it was going to redevelop that into a big supermarket out there and everything, but they never did.
No. Said they're building a supermarket up here on the Heights.
Yeah, Aldi's is one there. I've never heard of them. They are big down in the South, I guess, Midwest. I don't know, and they only sell their own brand. But and I look, you drive up on the Heights, and I don't care what they say. The mall, depending on what matter what you think of it. Bonton's going to close very quickly, so that whole end with Circuit City is going to be vacant. Then you've got Toys R Us is going to be gone. What in the world's going to go in there?
I can't imagine. There's not going to be another retailer that's going to jump because nobody wants to. And I think it's going to impact Sears and Penny's. Sears is never busy. There's hardly.
No, not like it used to be.
It's not like when it was downtown. That place was packed, and on Friday nights, everybody was going into Sears.
Well, the service department up there was always busy up there. Now there's just nothing there.
No. So it's I don't know. The mall is becoming a veritable ghost town.
It is.
I guess Dunkin' Donuts pulled out.
I guess.
I heard.
I haven't been in there.
Yeah.
I went to LensCrafters Sunday, I think it was, because I was sitting in the chair Saturday night, and all of a sudden my left lens popped out just like that. But other than that, I haven't been in there. I don't know what's really going on or nothing.
It's almost virtually
It's a shame.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But
I mean, it's only 25 years old, so it's not.
It opened up in 1992 or 93?
93, right around there.
Somewhere in that,
years.
I remember the grand opening they had, and that mall was full of stores.
Yes.
CVS was in there.
Yes. Bookstore was in there.
Bookstores were in there.
And
KB Toys, or there was a toy store in there. Pet shop was in there. I mean,
it was a vital, active, booming place.
Yeah.
And it's just.
But the rent is so high, they claim.
Yes. Yes.
But I don't know. And the food court was full.
Yes.
And now it's a laugh because there's nothing there.
No, there's one bakery, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that may be just about all.
Well, I don't know what's going to go up in there.
No.
It's almost because I know someone said Sears and Penny's both had leases until 2022 or 2020. And I said, well, that's coming right up.
It is. And you're obligated, the mall is obligated to renegotiate their lease if an anchor store leaves. And so with Bon-Ton going out, they have the right to renegotiate for a lower rate since they've lost that huge draw. So it's just, it's sad. It really
the Halloween store won't be in there for another August.
Yeah.
So they'll come back in. But,
4 months.
Yeah.
And by then, who knows what the place will be.
I still say dollar stores would be, I mean, it would be a good thing to see a dollar store go in there. Or a Christmas tree show, something. I don't know. But who knows?
No, it's unfortunate. I like the Bon-Ton. I shop there regularly, and the prices were good, and they had a good selection of clothing and things. But
and I haven't seen a lot of traffic downtown at night either.
No, except for some of the restaurants. I mean,
the restaurants, it's always busy. The other stores have all closed.
Yes, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you come in there summer and Nevis Van will be down there on weeknights at some Tuesday nights or so. But other than that, there's nothing going on.
No.
I went and by Concord Camera. They were closed early. The days of the Puritan being there or top of the town, that's gone. And youth center and all that mess, all that stuff. I don't know.
Diversities.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Frankie Transistor.
Yes. Well,
I guess that's our signal that we're coming to a close.
Right.
But it's really good having you on.
It's been great.
And I have enjoyed talking with you about the past. I mean, I know others have enjoyed us because they'll say, "Gee, you mentioned something I had forgotten about for a long time." And I said, "Yeah, I think about it."
I think it's important to stay in touch with the past too, and not let it be forgotten, because we can often learn what worked and why it worked, and maybe it's a lesson for the future.
Well, Freight Street.
Yes.
Nobody even knows whatever happened to Freight Street.
No.
Hazel Green.
Hazel Green.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Red Carrot Steakhouse.
Yep. That was up there in Loud.
Yes.
Well, I know we're gonna get to Evil Eye very shortly. I don't blame him. But anyhow, well, thanks for coming on, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today here on Around Town, talking to Paul Brogan, and thanks to my valuable director over there, Ian Marx, and who's going to be busy out there to Davisville's flea market
flea
this
market.
week. So we're going to say hello to him and find a bargain.
Okay.
With that in mind, have a great weekend, and we'll see you all soon on Around Town. I'm your host, Dick Patten.